fun to hear from createyourfuture.co. Today I have Jerry joining me. Hi, Jerry. Guys, I have an exciting video of how to get them to say what you want. I also have a success story from one of our subscribers. Guys, if you guys don't already know, Katie's got some great, amazing workshops and meditations on many subjects to help you to manifest the relationship you want, as well as I have a course on how to create the relationship you love, as well as if you would like to ask me a question about your situation or about manifesting in general, you can definitely post it on the Patreon page where I actually do I answer them on YouTube Lives once a month. So let's dive into this. I'm going to read the success story because I haven't committed it to memory, I'm afraid, from the email. And then we'll dive in to give you some tips and tricks on how you can create that in your reality as well. So the subscriber says, I found your YouTube channel less than a year ago and I started watching a couple of videos. I felt inspired to write you this success story. I hope you read it and it inspires you too. Oh, absolutely. It's a work in progress, but I think I'm on the right track. I know this is part of the law of assumption and everyone is you pushed out because it's the only new thing in my life compared to previous experiences and my specific person. And guys, I think it's very important to celebrate every little success because it's not really, it is about the end goal, but it's also about the journey, and everything in your reality you're constantly creating. So acknowledging and recognizing when you've actually turned something around, no matter how big or how small it is really, really important, because the name of the game here is to understand how you create. Your thoughts are a magic wand. And if you understand how to operate that magic wand and how to create things in your reality, it's absolutely amazing. Some of the smallest manifestations have helped me to understand how to, get past my blocks in bigger situations. So yeah. So, let's see here. So she does start by saying that she's doing therapy with open mind, regarding her abandonment wounds and rejection wounds that she knows that she created, which is great. There's nothing wrong with doing any psychology. So we go on here to say, well, I met my specific person on a dating app, like many before. I chose dating apps because I'm a foreigner to this country and it was the easiest way to meet new people. Nothing wrong with that. But I kept doing the same cycle every time. I started to think, men are hard to get. He's not that into me. He's not going to respond. Obviously, it didn't work. I got ghosted or left out. And in the end, I thought, you see, I knew this would happen. This is what always happens. Maybe I'm not good at love. I started to see a lot of coaches on YouTube and I started to see a lot of love coaches on YouTube, and the things that we were saying were really unencouraging. It's all about manipulation and games. I felt this wasn't the way. And, as far as what other people teach, what we really want is to, what we teach here on Create Your Future is to take responsibility, because everyone is you pushed out, and the assumptions that you send out, and think about other people or how they're going to show up. Just like what she said here is men are hard to get. That is not into me. He's not going to respond. And I know that she's talking about some of the love coaches that say, well, you know what, ghost them for 30 days and then they'll come running back. In my experience, that's never worked, because that's coming from, he doesn't want to be with me and I'm creating a story, right? So, but if you think ghosting them for 30 days is going to work, then it's going to work. So, you want to watch what you're creating and the thoughts behind it. Okay. But then I met my specific person. It wasn't special or anything. I just liked him and decided to give him a chance before leaving the dating apps. Oh my God. I saw him and I liked him right away and he liked me. I felt that. I felt seen, liked, and even loved in this first encounter. We went on many dates and ended up together. Then my insecurities came up, and guess what? He just stopped showing up, and I started to chase him for a couple days until I said, enough. Lockdowns in Argentina are pretty strong, so I took the time to think and do meditation. I did some breath work and essential oils meditation. I really took this time to calm and to figure out why the pattern was repeating itself. And this is the part I like. My therapist suggested to me to start writing all my negative thoughts out and replacing them for positive versions. Guys, anyone that knows that's been watching this channel, I've been saying that for years. And one thing I would like to add is we do have a lot of coaches on staff that are therapists. So Karen is a counselor. Yuli is a registered psychologist. So they bring the best of both worlds into it. So just to let you know. Then try to focus on that beautiful new positive list. I went back to myself and try to figure it out. What was happening to me or why? And then I found out about the law of assumption a couple of weeks later. And girl, I went all in. I did not focus on the 3D. I did not check social media. I didn't write back. I just left him alone in the 3D, but I focused on the fact that we're together. My birthday came and I thought he's going to show up, but he didn't. But I kept going. He's going to show up. I know that we're together. And at the end of the month, after 2 months, no contact, I posted a picture on my WhatsApp story and he replied, beautiful eyes. The picture I posted was a selfie I took on my birthday. Okay. We've been hot and cold, but I understand why. I focus on the good. And then when some tiny things comes up, I tend to give it a lot of attention. Yeah. When some tiny negative thing comes up, we give it a lot of attention. We're going to be hot and cold because our thoughts are hot and cold, right? I get that I'm the creator of my reality, so I noticed it and fixed it right away. That's why I say it's a work in progress. It's always, our whole life's a work in progress. It's always a choice. Are we choosing to be successful and have what we want today, or are we choosing to not and to be miserable, right? And to create things that we don't want to see. So I've had a lot of help from Katie's Inner Conversations videos. I fully understand the point. I get some minutes, so I get some minutes, so I feel my inner SP, specific person inside, and he tells me what I need. I have amazing conversations with him, and I do these until I feel good and it feels like it's done. It's happened. It's happening. On the 3D, I even get to the point where he told me in the 3D, I even get to the point where he told me as a joke, haha, I love you in a text, or marry me. On the holidays, he told me, let's have a child out of the blue. So these kind of things tell me I'm on the right path. Yeah, exactly. So all of our inner conversations of, having these thoughts of this person, say them to her, are starting to show up. I also know that if I focus on the new version and the new story, things will turn out perfect for me. So my affirmations are like this. I know I'm loved by him. I know he shows me love and tenderness. I know we're together. I know I'm worthy of this. I know I'm pursued by him. There was a big breakthrough I found. Whatever I know as true is true. Even techniques or everyone as you pushed out. I make my own rules. I thank you for all the information. You have been really helpful. So she goes on to say that her favorites are Katie and Ani and Megan as well, that they all explain things really, really clearly. And guys, we have a lot of great coaches on this team. But what I want to talk about in this here is, the importance of, recreating our thoughts. Okay. And how do we get someone to tell us what we want to hear? Okay. Is we start by taking a look at what is our story about them? What are we assuming about them? Okay. So if we're intending that Jerry is going to say that he loves me, but yet I don't think Jerry wants a commitment, and that he, has baggage and he can't love anybody, then he's not. So we really want to take a deep dive into, what we assume about ourselves in relationships. Are we lucky in love? Do we get the guy we want? We want to dive into our assumptions about the other person, and we want to dive into the assumptions about ourselves. Do we feel good enough? Okay. And once we dive into all this and we get all of it out, all the negative thoughts that we have, or even positive thoughts, we cross out the negative ones and we rewrite the positive ones, because thoughts are things and they're going to stay in play until we change them. Now, once we have this new list, okay, we go, great, this is what I want to see. Now, take some time, okay, to put yourself in the other person's shoes, have an inner conversation, or at least do intentions. What I would do is I'd be like, you know what Andrew's thinking? I'll tell you what Andrew's thinking. Andrew's thinking that I'm the best person in the world and that he loves me, and he tells me that all the time. So take some time to either have that conversation of, hearing in your mind. You don't even actually have to hear the person's voice. Just thinking about the person and going, I can hear him tell me he loves me, is enough. So you want to actually take the time to focus on what you actually want to hear. Grab a pen, grab a paper, and say, this is what Jerry tells me. This is what Jerry thinks about me. This is how Jerry feels about me. This is what I hear Jerry say. Okay. Remember, guys, we're always constantly having inner conversations in our head. Always. Your little voice talking is constantly having a conversation. Okay. Like, here's a really good example. I remember going out for dinner with somebody and I suggested going to this one restaurant. And all of a sudden the person was like, oh, you know what? It's dinner time. You know what? It's going to be full. And, you know, we're going to have to wait in line because there's going to be a lineup of people. And I was like, wow, you're already having a conversation of something that hasn't happened yet. And you're already working yourself up. And that moment, right? What I would do is I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go to dinner at this restaurant. And then instead of going down but it's probably going to be busy and I'm going to have to wait in line. No, because all that creates, I'll be like, if I thought of that, I'd be like, no, you know what? It's actually going to be empty and I'm going to get in right away and I'm going to get great service because everyone's being pushed out and my thoughts create. Okay. So we really want to take a look at what our mental diet is throughout the day as well. Okay. So when you're thinking about the person, okay, you want to ask yourself when you do the mental diet, do I want to keep that thought? Do I want to create that or do I not want to create that? Okay. Because everybody's going to reflect back what we think about ourselves and also what we think the other person thinks about us. Now, there is one little trick here because I can create that I'm the best person in the world. Okay. I've always created, that I always created that, you know, everybody absolutely loves me and I'm the best girlfriend ever. But I also created that, you know what, that men that were previously married didn't want to be in relationships and recommit. Okay. So for me, it wasn't a self-concept thing because I had a great self-concept, but I had the story about other people. So even though you may say everybody loves me, you can still say that Jerry doesn't love you and doesn't want to be with you. Okay. And thoughts are things. So if you create that, then you actually have to take it a step further and go, everyone loves me and Jerry loves me as well. And he wants to be with me and he's over his baggage. Okay. So a lot of the times it's going to have to do with your self-concept about how you feel about yourself, but also the assumption and story that you created about the other person. Okay. So, you know, is it enough to just say everybody loves me? No, not if you've created a story about Jerry not loving you. Okay. You've got to actually go in and go, no, Jerry loves me. And because normally when we create a story that Jerry doesn't love us and Jerry comes back and says, I don't love you, I just can't commit to you, then we normally take it a step further and make it personal. It's because I'm not good enough. Okay. So yeah, saying that I'm good enough deals with that second part of the story where we took our manifestation personally, but we also take it a step further and go, okay, and Jerry loves me and Jerry wants to be with me. And I can hear Jerry tell me that, right? So, you know, because that's really where the problem with our self-concept comes from, is because we create something, we create Jerry to be late, Jerry's late picking us up, and then we take it personally and then create that he doesn't respect me. Okay, but no, him being late was empty and meaningless. I said that he's always late. He's always late. Does it mean he doesn't respect me? Absolutely not. That's a meaning I've assigned that action. So we've got to clean up what meanings we're giving things, right? So if you want somebody to tell you what you want to hear, okay, we need to change the story about them. We need to change our assumptions about them. And then we need to start focusing on what we actually want to hear from them. Okay. We want to clean up everything in our past too. We say, no, none of that matters. Regardless of what I've gone through in my past, I am good enough to have what I have now. I've already adjusted to all of it. I've already processed all of it. And I'm an amazing person, right? So yeah, I know I kind of went a little bit here and there, but I think it all tied in together. Guys, you know what? I intend that everybody gets an aha moment from this video and you guys all make a huge change in your life. And yeah, remember, everyone is you pushed out and your thoughts are constantly creating. So when you focus on things that make you feel good, other people are going to reflect back things that make you feel good. When you have a good assumption and a good opinion about somebody, they're going to show up and be that good person for you. You're 100% in control of this. Nobody can make any intentions in your reality. Everybody has to follow the law of reflecting back what your thoughts are. So if you want to hear what somebody, you know, specific things from a person, start getting specific on what you want to hear from them, how they feel about you, and clean out all those old stories so it frees it up for it to actually come in. Well, guys, Jerry thanks you and I thank you. Thank you for watching and liking, commenting, and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.